Good evening and welcome to your primetime news on TV1. Bringing you the news tonight, I am Peruni Karunaratna. Here are tonight's top stories. At least 12 dead and 29 injured in Sydney Bondi Beach terror attack. 2 lives lost in shooting at Brown University in America. Do not give in to hopelessness. Join hands to rebuild the country. President calls on the general public. Guidelines issued for the distribution of disaster relief funds. Hotline number to report issues.
අපි පැය 24 පුරාම ක්‍රියාත්මක වන 19.4 කියන දුරකථන අංකය විවෘත කරලා තිබෙනවා.
Another Indian aircraft carrying 25 metric tons of essential medicines and other supplies lands in Sri Lanka. Fuel leak at the Colombo port. Fuel mixed with seawater removed within a few hours.
කාටත් එහෙම දීවරයන්ටවත් බෙරළීනේ සත්තුන්ටවත් හානියක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
On to those stories in detail. Australian police say that at least 12 people have been killed in a shooting near Sydney's Bondi Beach. This terror attack took place on the crowded Bondi Beach. Gunmen dressed in black clothing began shooting from a small bridge leading towards Bondi Beach. This bridge is located 50 meters away from the Bondi Park playground. This is how the 2 gunmen carried out the shooting from that location. Australian police say that at least 3 individuals were involved in this attack. A scene capturing a person at the location wrestling with a shooter during this terrifying incident and snatching the firearm of the gunman has garnered international attention. This brave individual is shown hiding behind a tree, then suddenly pouncing on the shooter and snatching his gun and subsequently aiming the gun at the shooter. Crowds at the location say that around 50 gunshots were heard on the beach. The New South Wales police, who are investigating the incident, say that 2 suspects have been arrested in connection with the shooting. One of the deceased is also a shooter. Police have urged the public to refrain from going to the Bondi Beach area as operations are continuously underway in the vicinity. A shooting at Brown University has left 2 students dead and several others critically injured.
The attack occurred during final exams inside a classroom in the Burrows and Holly building, which houses the School of Engineering and Physics. The shooter, dressed in black and possibly wearing a camouflage mask, remains at large. 8 victims were taken to Rhode Island Hospital, 6 of whom are in critical but stable condition, while a 9th person was injured but not in critical condition. Authorities initially reported a suspect was in custody but later clarified that police are still searching for the attacker. Providence Mayor Brett Smiley has urged residents near the campus to remain indoors while a shelter in place is in effect. Brown University President Christina Paxson confirmed that the 2 victims killed were students. Police continued their investigation into this tragic incident.
News first with the people.
Let's move on to local news. President Anura Kumara Dissanayaka emphasized that in times of disaster, everyone's duty is not to flee or panic, but to unite with determination to rebuild the nation. The commissioning and passing out parade of the General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University was held last afternoon at the Trincomalee Naval and Maritime Academy. The President was welcomed with full naval honours. The ceremony was attended by a group including Secretary of Defence, retired Air Vice Marshal Sampath Tuyakonta, the commanders of the Tri-Forces and the Inspector General of Police. The President appreciated the role played by the Navy during the recent disaster and paid tribute to the naval officers who sacrificed their lives.
As a country, we are facing a period of many challenges. Recently, our nation went through a major economic crisis which began to affect every sector. Today, however, our economy is slowly but steadily recovering. It was during this period of rebuilding that we had to face a disaster caused by floods and storms. We have understood that this disaster is a severe blow to the economy that we were trying to stabilize and strengthen. But what is our responsibility in the face of such a challenge? This tragedy is not a reason to run away or live with hopelessness. The responsibility we all share is the firm determination to rebuild our motherland. Each of us has separate responsibilities. I have a responsibility assigned to me as the President. Our Navy Commander has responsibilities according to his position. The difference between us lies in the responsibilities we each shoulder. Ultimately, what is the difference between us? We are all born on this earth, struggle within this economy, and eventually return to dust. The real differences are the responsibilities assigned to each of us. Every responsibility is necessary for a stable and functioning state. The responsibilities of police officers, army officers, municipal employees, and mine as the President. How can a country move forward? A nation can only progress if everyone properly fulfills the responsibilities assigned to them. No profession or duty should be considered secondary. Every responsibility is equally important and forms part of our contribution to building the country. While the nature of these responsibilities may differ, each of us carries a duty on our shoulders. Let us come together and faithfully fulfill the responsibilities entrusted to us.
The President also emphasized the need to dismantle the drug network, which has become a powerful organized criminal gang.
The main challenge we are facing as a country is the drug menace. Being an island, drugs are brought into our country either by air or by sea. To free our nation from this threat, we must stop the flow of drugs at both entry points. Who is behind this? We know that this drug network is not just a group of dealers. It is a highly organized criminal gang. They are armed, have significant financial resources, and maintain connections with international criminal organizations. For a time, they even had close political ties, which they leverage through their financial power. They have managed to compromise parts of our state machinery and exploit weak officials. This has created a widespread drug network across the country. To dismantle this network, we as a government have been in constant consultation with the IGP and the three armed forces. As a state, we have made a firm decision to save our nation from this disaster that is consuming our youth. Why can I make this statement with confidence? Because I trust you, the ones who protect our seas. You are the ones who prevent drugs from reaching land, and you are the ones who seize those that do. I know that in recent times, under the leadership of our Navy Commander, all officers have carried out several major operations together. In recent years, we have successfully seized 200, 300, 500 and even 700 kilograms of drugs in successive operations. But the fight is not over. This scourge of drugs in our country, this epidemic, must end. We must protect our nation and our youth from the destruction caused by this menace. As a political authority, we are ready to do everything necessary to safeguard our homeland from this threat.
The President also joined in observing the naval officers' drill display. The Ministry of Defence issued a set of guidelines for disaster relief operations today. The Ministry of Defence has issued comprehensive guidelines to all district and divisional secretaries outlining further instructions for the government's rapid relief program aimed at restoring the lives of people affected by the recent disaster. The guidelines clearly define the institutions responsible for relief operations and outline their respective roles. Accordingly, the Rural Disaster Management and Relief Services Committee has been tasked with carrying out basic relief activities for affected school children, damaged houses and families that have lost their livelihoods, as well as those who have been displaced from their homes. The Regional Disaster Management Committee has been assigned the responsibility for resolving issues related to the payment of allowances, while district committees will provide guidance to regional committees on matters concerning the disbursement of the 25,000 rupee and 50,000 rupee allowances. The allowance and relief payment structure is as follows. 25,000 rupee allowance. A one-time allowance of 25,000 rupees per housing unit will be provided for cleaning and resettlement of houses or temporary shelters regardless of ownership. This allowance applies to completely damaged houses, partially damaged houses, houses requiring cleaning. The payment will be made regardless of land ownership or income level and without a damage assessment. For rented houses, the allowance will be paid to the tenant. If both the owner and the tenant reside in the same house, the amount will be divided equally between them. 50,000 rupee allowance. An allowance of 50,000 rupees per housing unit will be provided to purchase kitchen appliances and essential household items needed for resettlement. Eligible houses include completely damaged houses, partially damaged houses, and houses where kitchen appliances and essential items have been damaged. This will be provided regardless of land ownership or income level following verification of damage. Livelihood loss allowance. Families unable to continue their livelihood activities due to disaster-related damage are eligible for this allowance. Eligibility applies to families who have lost their livelihoods due to the loss or complete destruction of their homes, those whose houses have been declared unfit for habitation by the National Building Research Organization, and families who lost their livelihoods while living in rented accommodation. The allowance will be paid for up to 3 months. Families with 2 members or fewer will receive 25,000 rupees per month, while families with more than 2 members will receive 50,000 rupees per month, with payments made to the head of the household. 15,000 rupees student allowance. A one-time allowance of 15,000 rupees will be provided to disaster-affected school students to purchase books and clothing. Monthly rental allowance. Individuals who have lost their permanent residences due to disasters and are left homeless will be eligible for a monthly rental allowance of up to 25,000 rupees for a maximum period of 6 months to secure temporary accommodation. This allowance does not apply to tenants and will not be provided for additional houses owned by the applicant apart from their primary residence.
ආපදාවට ලක්වුවන් සවිබල ගැන්වීම සඳහා වූ ඒ චක්‍රලේඛයේ අවශ්‍ය උපදෙස් මාලාව.
A circular outlining the necessary instructions to empower disaster-affected families was issued today under the signature of the Secretary to the Ministry of Defence. It includes all guidelines required to obtain housing assistance and disaster relief and has been forwarded to district secretaries, ministry secretaries and provincial chief secretaries for implementation. We expect all relevant officials to act accordingly. In addition, a 24-hour hotline 1904 has been established to report any issues related to the provision of relief or other disaster-related concerns, and we will intervene promptly where necessary.
මේ දුරකථන අංකය හරහා අපිට වාර්තා කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ සඳහා අපි මැදිහත් වෙනවා.
Many parts of Sri Lanka, still recovering from recent devastation from Cyclone Ditwa, are now seeing rapid development. In the past few days, several such projects have been completed. Notably, the canal embankment near Gatahaulpata, part of the Badulla Uwaparanagama Umayala irrigation project, which was completely destroyed by a recent landslide, was fully reconstructed in just 7 days using about 7,000 sandbags. The reconstruction aims to enable an early start to this year's cultivation season.
All 1,030 irrigation projects in the Badula district were destroyed. This is one of them. A 14-day repair operation started on the 9th, aiming to restore the canals and ensure that water is supplied to farmers for this Maha season.
An extensive cleanup program to remove garbage accumulated in the Colombo Divisional Secretariat following the floods was carried out throughout the day today. The operation was conducted with the cooperation of 29 local government institutions across the Western Province. Local government officials and staff also left to collect the garbage in the area. The Trincomalee Kantale Suryapura Mahavali Protection Dam is currently being renovated.
We have allocated 10 million for this. If the rain subsides, we will complete this work within 2 to 3 weeks and provide this security to the Suryapura village.
The road near the Kalawava spillway was also severely damaged due to the heavy rain. The reconstruction of this road is still ongoing. The reconstruction of the Kandy Randanigala road, previously blocked at multiple points up to Adhikarigama town and Lamasuria, began today. A C-17 cargo plane, the largest of its kind belonging to the Indian Air Force, arrived in Sri Lanka this evening carrying 25 metric tons of essential medicines and dry food to support the country's health services in the aftermath of the disaster. The aircraft returned to India today, carrying 85 hospital staff who had come to assist in Sri Lanka, working at a field hospital in Mahiyangana. The medical team, including Indian doctors, provided treatment to 7,000 patients, performing essential surgeries as needed. Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa visited Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunayaka, to pay respect to the departing medical staff. Meanwhile, United Arab Emirates troops concluded their rescue and relief operations in Sri Lanka and departed for Abu Dhabi aboard a special UAE Air Force cargo plane. The aircraft carried back vehicles and equipment used during their mission, including 4 large trucks brought for operations in the country. Meanwhile, a US Air Force C-130 aircraft, which arrived in Sri Lanka for disaster relief operations, departed the island today along with the relief team. In response to the disaster, 2 C-130 aircrafts carrying a 60-member US military relief team arrived in Sri Lanka on the 7th of December. These aircraft operated from Katunayaka and Ratmalana Air Force bases, flying to Jaffna, Mattala, Ampara and Anuradhapura to deliver aid to affected communities. The US C-130 aircraft and military relief teams also provided invaluable support to Sirasa Shakti Sahanayatra initiative by airlifting relief supplies to disaster-hit areas.
Newsfirst, main sponsor.
Valuable FD, the symbol of stability. Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
What is the impact of the northeast monsoon on the weather? Let's take a look. The Department of Meteorology says that under the influence of an easterly wave, showery conditions are expected to enhance to some extent over the island from the 16th of December. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern, north-central, eastern, over, central and northwestern provinces. Showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in other areas of the island after 1 p.m. Fairly strong winds of about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times times over the eastern slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north central and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee, Hambantota and Monaragala districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts during the early hours of the morning. The department urges the public to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
Losses. This is something everyone experiences. The sudden cyclone Ditwa has reminded us of that harsh reality. But no matter who we are, whether we have much or little, this is a moment to extend a helping hand to those left helpless by the disaster. It is for the sake of humanity that the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra was created, a massive initiative to reach out and support those affected. Even today, guided by the enduring value of our shared humanity, the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra continues its operations across the country. Throughout the day, essential supplies generously provided by the public were distributed to affected communities in multiple regions. Ulpata and Tatila villages. These two villages, located in the Mahianganaya Kandakatiya Divisional Secretariat, were severely impacted by the disaster. Today, the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra relief convoy delivered a large consignment of essential supplies to the residents of these villages. Mavanalla, a town where many residents have been affected by the disaster, also received timely relief. Residents in areas including Utuwankanda, Rahala, Aranayaka Korevela Temple, Vaharakgoda and surrounding neighborhoods were provided with crucial supplies through the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra. Gampula and Kothmale. For the residents of Gampula and Kothmale, a truck carrying essential supplies left the Panama Broadcasting Center today to deliver aid. The provision of these essential supplies was made possible with the financial support from the Ministry of CRAB. As the Kalani River rose above the major flood levels, many residents in the surrounding low-lying areas were severely affected. Numerous homes were flooded. Even now, people are struggling to recover from this disaster. The Sahana Yatra convoy reached Kalanimulla today to provide strength and support to residents in whatever way possible. Essential supplies were distributed to residents in areas such as Salihini Mawata in Angoda and Kuda Butgamwa in Kotikawata. Thousands of people came to the NTV MBC head office premises, the Panama Broadcasting Center and the Gaul Kahaduatta Collection Center to offer their support, which means a great deal to us. Their efforts reflect selfless dedication, contributing in every possible way to assist those in need. Through the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra, thousands of acts of assistance have been organized, with volunteers lined up in rows and a new generation of young people stepping forward. With the support of the armed forces, the Sirasa Shakti Sahana Yatra continues tirelessly for the people and with the people.
Meanwhile, Parliamentarian Rohitha Abegunawardena warned the government of the consequences if promises made to disaster victims are not kept.
We have experience dealing with disasters, floods, cyclones, tsunamis, while we were in government and in the opposition. We have always worked to help those affected. Now in Parliament, the President is quoting big numbers. He says 50,000, 1 million and 1 billion. The President must keep his promises. If these promises aren't fulfilled, what will the people do? They will take to the streets. We urge the government to fulfill their promises.
The Mahasangha urges that the country be rebuilt with a focus beyond narrow political interests at a media briefing held in Paliagoda.
මේක ස්වාභාවික විපත්තියක්.
This is a natural disaster and the priority should be to properly manage the situation and restore normalcy. It has been about 2 weeks since the crisis began, yet the President has visited district after district, met with the people, engaged with officials and their families and provided guidance. Who else has taken such steps before? It is clear that the aid provided will not be misused. The 25,000 rupees was distributed on the 5th day after it was announced. Claims to the contrary reflect this narrow objective of those seeking to sabotage these efforts. We should not be swayed by them. Instead, we should support the program and offer our blessings to further develop the country. Since a trustworthy government was established in Sri Lanka, several foreign countries have extended various forms of assistance based on confidence in our country's leadership. The President has committed to guiding the nation out of its current challenges and has publicly affirmed his dedication to serving the people. This is a source of great encouragement and pride for us. At this moment, we as religious leaders must work together to build a strong and united country.
The Marine Environment Protection Authority confirmed that this morning's fuel spill from a crude oil pipeline at the Colombo port was promptly cleaned up.
What is this oil leak? A leak was detected in a pipeline used to unload crude oil from fuel tankers at the first buoy of the Colombo port at about 3 a.m. After being notified by the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, the Navy said that 3 Navy fast attack crafts, together with the Coast Guard vessel Samaraksha, successfully brought the fuel spill under control with the assistance of the Marine Environmental Protection Authority and the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation. What impact will the remaining oil have on the ecosystem?
A small amount of oil remains and efforts are underway to dispose of it in an environmentally friendly manner. We have now been able to restore the area to its original condition without causing harm to the environment or Sri Lanka's coastline. According to reports received by the Air Force, the remaining oil is drifting away from the coast. Steps are being taken to scientifically control and manage this very small amount. This will not cause any damage to fishermen or fish in the sea. This is a very small amount of oil and therefore no one needs to be alarmed.
The biography of Mizan Hajiar was launched in Colombo.
The book titled The Legacy of Mizan Hajiar, a biography of the renowned business leader of the 1950s as well as a noted philanthropist and social worker, was officially launched in Colombo yesterday.
It is a tribute to him as a Sri Lankan, and we Sri Lankans should emulate those virtues of the passionate desire to see Sri Lanka as model of intercommunal harmony, of progress. He won the confidence of the leaders of the time, of the nation, of the father nation, Sri Lanka, and succeeding prime ministers. He won their confidence by his honesty, sincerity, and the desire that he should benefit others and not himself. He didn't want personal glory. His politics was a means of distributing what he had acquired, and it is an example to show that riches endures if it is built on compassion, on trust.
He started small, but he won the confidence of all communities who did business with him. Those who produced those basic products, spices, the various other commodities, not only produced, but those who sold. And later on, they were able to even be one of the pioneer exporters of Canadian produce to the Middle East. He was a legendary businessman. I would like to say that he was not only a great businessman, he was a great supporter of all the other small businessmen in the town.
The event was attended by distinguished guests, including prominent figures from the business community, academics and members of the media.
We now have a development concerning the shooting that took place in Brown University. Police in Rhode Island say that they have a person of interest in custody after a shooting at Brown University killed 2 students and wounded 9 others. This incident happened Saturday afternoon in a classroom during final exams.
Armed with a handgun, the shooter fired more than 40 9mm rounds, according to a law enforcement official. Authorities as of Sunday morning hadn't recovered a gun, but did recover 2 loaded 30-round magazines, according to the official, who spoke on the condition on anonymity because they were not authorized to publicly discuss the investigation. Classes and exams have been cancelled. University officials also said students are free to leave. For years, Gummather and Brown University, particularly through collaboration with the Watson Institute for International and Public Affairs, have shared a remarkable partnership rooted in shared values of human dignity, inclusive development and academic exchange. Many students from Brown have visited Sri Lanka over the past years as part of the partnership and contributed to the movement and to the communities they worked with. Sri Lanka's Gummather movement notes that it is profoundly saddened by the tragic events that unfolded at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island.
Valuable FD, the symbol of stability.
දහනවෙන් පහළ ආසියානු කුසලාන ක්‍රිකට් තරගාවලිය 2025 ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ ඇෆ්ගනිස්තානය අතර තරගය හෙට උදෑසන 10:30ට TV1 ඔස්සේ සජීවීව www.sirasatv.lk වෙබ් අඩවි ඔස්සේද නැරඹිය හැකියි.
After more than 2 decades at the top of professional wrestling, John Cena has bid farewell to the WWE ring. The 17-time world champion and cultural icon wrestled his final match last night in Washington, D.C., closing the curtain on a career that redefined the sport.
John Cena's final match took place at the Capital One Arena, headlining WWE's last Saturday's night's main event of 2025. Facing former world heavyweight champion Gunther, Cena endured a brutal, nearly 24-minute contest that ended with him tapping out. The crowd remained electrified throughout, cheering the WWE superstar whose career has spanned 8,570 days, 17 world titles, and countless memorable moments in the ring. Cena first made his mark in 2002, debuting against Kurt Angle and quickly earning a reputation as a rising star. from his early days of ruthless aggression to his doctor of thugonomics persona, Cena evolved into a heroic figure, embodying his never-give-up ethos. Beyond his wrestling achievements, Cena became a household name in Hollywood, starring in films such as Bumblebee, Blockers, Trainwreck and Peacemaker. Off-screen, he set a Guinness World Record, granting over 650 wishes through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, even with brief setbacks, including a controversial heel turn at Elimination Chamber 2025. Cena's legacy remained unmatched. During his retirement run, he competed against both veteran and emerging stars, including AJ Styles, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Dominic Mysterio and Gunther. It was a celebration of a career that helped shape WWE's modern era. While the victory went to Gunther, fans and colleagues alike honored Cena's contributions, with the entire locker room on hand to witness his farewell. Though Cena leaves the ring, his influence continues. He has signed a 5-year deal to serve as a WWE ambassador, ensuring the man behind Yukon Cena will remain part of the sport's future. From his first title win at WrestleMania 21 to becoming a Grand Slam champion and a cultural icon, John Cena's journey stands as one of the most remarkable in wrestling history. The final bell has rung, but the legend of Cena will be remembered for generations.
The Indian Cultural Association's International Half Marathon successfully concluded today. The Indian Cultural Association hosted the International Half Marathon for the second time this year. Over 2,500 athletes from 39 countries took part, showcasing a passion for world-class athletics, community spirit and a strong commitment to making a positive impact on society. The event was organized in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports, the High Commission of India in Sri Lanka and several other state institutions. In the men's category, Kipsang Isabet Musas of Kenya claimed victory, while Sri Lanka's Methmi Vijaysurya won the women's half marathon. And that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Good night.